The episode opens with Thaddeus already deep into his transformation into a ghoul, running a grim warehouse operation staffed entirely by children. Their job is simple: gather bottle caps, the currency of the wasteland. Thaddeus keeps them in line with hollow encouragement, reminding them how lucky they are to be alive. Lucy's storyline drops her into a nightmare. She's dragged through a Legion stronghold modeled after a twisted version of Caesar's Rome, where people in outdated Roman armor oversee weapons, tooth extractions, and casual brutality. The woman Lucy was transporting is brought before a masked figure and executed without hesitation. Lucy is then dragged before Kaiser himself, quickly realizing these aren't simple raiders, they're fanatics clinging to warped history to justify control. When the Legion invokes Prima Noctis, Lucy pushes back hard, dismantling their fake historical logic and openly calling out their hypocrisy. She challenges their authority outright, insisting cruelty doesn't equal order. The legate responds coldly. They're at war on all sides: rival Kaisers, the NCR, anyone who threatens dominance. Strength alone determines truth. Lucy's attempt at diplomacy only makes things worse, and she's tied to a crucifix as punishment. Still defiant, Lucy argues that if they think everyone else is the enemy, maybe they're the problem. The legate replies that good isn't a meaningful force in history, only strength is. Lucy is left hanging as the Legion prepares for war. Elsewhere, the ghoul tends to a festering rat-scorpion wound with dog meat by his side, cutting the green rot from his flesh. He compares himself to a ship losing planks, still recognizable at first, but eventually becoming something else entirely. Beneath the violence, his monologue reveals exhaustion and loneliness. He kills out of necessity, not rage, and admits he's tired of surviving alone. He tells Dogmeat it's been a long time since he's had someone worth talking to. That loneliness bleeds into flashbacks of Cooper Howard before the bombs. He's packing with his wife Barb for the vault, watching her hesitate over what to bring, especially their daughter's teddy bear. The moment is heavy with dread. Entering the vault means abandoning the world forever. Another flashback shows Cooper at an American Legion fundraiser. He talks with his friend Charlie about Robert House and learns House is building a weapons system in Vegas. Cooper mentions that Moldaver wants House dead, but there has to be another way. Charlie counters, most of the men in that room have killed someone. House would just be one more. Congresswoman Diane Welch speaks against corporate influence, one of the last voices pretending the system can still be fixed. Later, Cooper encounters a man resembling Robert House in the bathroom. House explains that history isn't shaped by morality but by force, and that people pushed into corners eventually explode. The exchange foreshadows the world's collapse long before it happens. Back in the present, the ghoul tracks Lucy to the Legion and immediately realizes the faction is splitting into rival Kaisers. He heads to an abandoned NCR country club looking for leverage. Inside, he meets Victor, a cheerful cowboy robot with scrambled memory who spent the last decade thinking he was a soda machine. Victor explains the NCR and Legion are tearing themselves apart and admits House is supposedly gone despite planning for immortality using tech like cold fusion. The ghoul doesn't believe it. House always planned ahead. Later, the ghoul visits a desperate NCR outpost. Captain Rodriguez begs for help, still clinging to ideals like clean water and rights. When she mentions shady sands, the ghoul tells her the truth. It fell over 20 years ago. No reinforcements are coming. The war is already over. If something dies, he says it probably deserved to, and he walks away. But when he finds Lucy still alive on the crucifix, something changes. He offers the Legion a deal, information on the last NCR holdout in exchange for her life, and they agree. A final flashback shows Charlie giving Cooper a lighter, earned for saving one man, not killing others. Soldiers tell stories, Charlie admits, to justify what they've done. The ghoul still carries that lighter. As Lucy is released and the Legion celebrates their coming assault, the ghoul notices a massive cache of dynamite. Moments later, it explodes, igniting the Legion civil war. Maybe some part of Cooper Howard is still there after all. Inside the Brotherhood of Steel, fractures deepen. Elders argue over faith, loyalty, and whether rebellion is justified when doctrine fails. The arrival of an envoy from the Commonwealth only worsens tensions. The Brotherhood teeters on the edge of civil war. Maximus suggests killing Xander to stabilize things, throwing Quintus's own rhetoric back at him. Quintus dismisses him and orders him out. Outside, Maximus meets Harkness Xander, who bluntly explains the problem. Clerics run everything, and Quintus is about to make a catastrophic mistake. The Brotherhood exists to fight chaos, and rebellion sounds a lot like it. Still, Harkness believes cooler heads can prevail. He and Maximus take off in a vertibird to investigate unauthorized activity. They raid an abandoned facility and encounter a malfunctioning Securitron cycling between absurd hospitality and lethal force. A chaotic firefight follows, then they hear movement. Inside, they discover a group of child ghouls. It's Thaddeus' warehouse. Harkness immediately labels them abominations and begins sorting them for execution. Thaddeus emerges, desperately trying to protect the kids. Maximus begs Harkness to forget the rules, to see them as people, but Harkness refuses. As he raises his weapon, Maximus swings the super sledge, crushing Harkness's helmet and killing him instantly. Thaddeus realizes who saved him. Maximus is shaken, barely able to speak. He admits the truth. He may have just started a war.